I love this. This is amazing.
Thank you, Mr. Tang. Right, so there are
You're
two...
back with your boy, Mr. Wade, and this is YouTube Maths. Boo, boo, boo.
Good morning, Year 5. Hopefully, yesterday's lesson on kilograms and kilometers went well. And today we're going to be building upon that understanding with millimeters and milliliters. Okay, you got your feedback starter. How many meters are there in a kilometer? How many kilograms are there in 6,000 grams, etc. So work your way through those nice and quickly. The answers are there. Now, same as yesterday, we are refreshing your memory with the conversion. So 1,000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 litre. So it is very, very similar to yesterday. That is because we knew that kilo stood for 1,000, but also milli stands for 1,000. So milli stands for 1,000. We have 7,000 milliliters. That is 7 lots of litres, because milli stands for the 1,000. Okay, so we've got 7,000 milliliters here. So write this down as a reference point, please. Your introduction, draw a line to match these converted units. So I've got 7,000 on my piece of paper. That needs to match up with one of these here. Now, some of you might just be able to match them up because of units. Some of them might not be quite so easy, but I'm going to run through one here. So we've got 7,000 milliliters. 7,000 milliliters we need to get into litres. So milli stands for 1,000, so we need to divide 7,000 by 1,000. Now we're doing very similar things to yesterday. I've written out my place value column here. I've got 7 in 1,000 column, 0 in 100, 0 in a 10, 0 in a ones, decimal point in the same position, and tenths. I've just added that in there just in case anybody wanted to see it, because obviously we did about decimals before we broke up. 7,000, if we're dividing by 1,000, we could jump across 3 place value columns. So we jump from the thousands into the hundreds, that's 1, into tens, that's 2, into the ones, that's 3. So our 7,000 will then move down into 7 ones. And because we have zeros after it, we know that they're just going to be zeros. So we can shuffle them along if we wanted to, but we know they're going to be zeros. So we've got 7.0 litres, which is also known as just simply 7 litres. So if we go back up here, we know that 7,000 millilitres would link up to 7 litres. Okay, so work your way through these here. Then we've got varied fluency 1. This is very important to make sure you understand what you're dividing and what you're timesing by. If this can become quicker and quicker and quicker, then you don't need to be thinking about it when it comes to some assessment. So you just need to add in multiply or divide. So you know how to convert the measurements by completing these statements. To convert 7.1 meters into millimeters, meters into millimeters. So this stands for 1,000 meters, remember? So we need times by 1,000. So this first one here be multiply by 1,000. The answer is, you work that out. Okay, to convert milliliters into liters, what do we need to do? We've already got the thousands. We need to do something to it. I'm not going to give you all the answers. Okay, I nearly did then, but not yet. Okay, so work your way through that there. Varied fluency 2. We've got a fraction here. We've got 700,000. Okay, 700,000. What's that into milliliters? Or what's that into litres? We know that if it was 1,000 over 1,000, that would equal 1 litre. Because out of 1,000, we would have 1,000 of it. So that would be 1 litre, but we don't. We only have 700. So we have, that is equal to 7 tenths if we convert this down. 7 tenths. We have 7 tenths of a litre. 7 tenths of a litre. I wonder what that might be. I think that might be 700 millilitres. So 0.7 litres. So 700 millilitres and 0.7 litres. If we have 400 millilitres, what's that going to be out of 1,000? Because we know that we'll be out of 1,000. So 400 over 1,000. What's that in litres? We've got half a litre. How many millilitres is half a litre? What would the fraction look like? So work your way through these as well. Hopefully they're not too hard. Now, I need to order these mixed measurements from smallest to largest. Problem we're faced with here, we've got some in litres, some in millilitres. So we need to convert them all into the same unit of measurement, either millilitres or litres. So I've started down here. We've got 50 millilitres. How many litres is that? So I've worked that out. That would be 0.05 litres. We've got 50 litres. How many millimetres is that? Millilitres is that? We times it by 1,000. That'd be 50,000 millilitres. 5.5 litres. Get from litres to millilitres. We need to times by 1,000. So it's 5,500 millilitres. 0.5 litres. So we've got half a litre. So we should know that is 500 millilitres. And we've got 5,000 millilitres being 5 litres. Okay, so I've already done the conversions for you. It'll be interesting to see who does watch this video all the way through. I'm going to just write them down in millilitres. So we start with 50 millilitres being the smallest. Second smallest, we've got 500 millilitres. Then next comes 5,000 millilitres. It's quite hard to write actually when you're looking through a camera. And then we've got 5,500 millilitres, and last out there, huge, 50,000 millilitres. Now, technically that's not quite the right answer, because they want you to put these 5 into order from smallest to largest. So if I've written them down here, 50 millilitres, yeah, we've got 50 millilitres up there. 500 millilitres. No, we don't have 500 millilitres. So we go back onto our conversion chart. 500 millilitres is equal to 0.5 litres. So that would be the smallest, second smallest, and work your way through. But please make sure you plot these 5 from smallest to largest. This is just your working out. This shows me that you know what you're doing and you're understanding. Then work your way through some more if you need to. Draw lines to match the equivalent measurements. It's exactly the same. It's just knowing whether we're dividing by 1,000 or timesing by 1,000. You can work through these. You might be spotting patterns as you're going through. If you are, fantastic. If you're not, don't worry about it too much. I think they will come over the next couple of weeks. Which 3 measurements could be combined to make 5.3 meters. That might not be quite so simple as first thought, but have a little go at that. So again, I would suggest converting them all to the same units. We've got some reasoning ones here as well, so reasoning 2. So work your way through as much as you need. As I say in most videos, we wouldn't go through the whole PowerPoint in class, so there's no need for you to go through the whole PowerPoint here. These are the questions that we are really looking forward to seeing your answers. So, very fluency, hot and spicy here. Show you know how to convert your measures by. What do you do times or divide? The answer is very similar to what we've already done. Okay, so it's just a continuation on from that. So this is what hot and spicy looks like. Mega hot, we're starting with the same. Do you know exactly what you're doing? That's basically what we're asking. And then are you nuts here? It's starting the same. See, it all comes down to the same principle. It's not whether you get the right answer. Do you understand why you're timesing it by 1,000, or when to times by 1,000, or when to divide by 1,000, etc. Okay, so once you've gone through your hot and spicy, mega hot, or are you nuts, make sure you mark. See if you can spot any answers that you might not have got right. If you're really not sure where you've made a mistake, just email one of your teachers. Okay, so we've all got our pages and we'll be checking our emails regularly. Here, reason problem solving. Which 2 measurements combine to make 5 meters? You need to work that out. It's all about the converting of the units to show all your workings out. Mega hot here. Which 3 measurements combine to make different? Is the following statement correct? Yes, no, why? Okay, it says explain your answer. So really go into detail. Show us that you know exactly what you're doing. And are you nuts down here as well? Once you've done all of that, then do not forget to mark your work. If you've still got time left in the hour, then there is an extension piece of work. Don't worry too much if you don't get onto that. We're not expecting you to. It's just there in case anybody does. Okay, so have fun with the maths today. Thank you.